Well, hello there. I'm back from vacation. Yeah, back from vacation. Survived the harsh blizzard that we got yesterday. And now I'm here to do a review for you. Not an unlimited podcast, no special guest, no Google Hangouts, just me. So if you want to switch off, now's the time to do it. If you don't like rants, now would be a good time to switch the channel and go somewhere else. Now would be the time to cover your ears, because there might be a little bit of screaming. But yeah, Fastlane. One of the benefits of going on vacation at the time that I did was that I didn't have to watch Fastlane live, because I left to go on vacation the day before, and I didn't get back until this past Saturday. So that was a blessing, because I didn't want to watch Fastlane. But like the WWE fan that I've always been, I watched Fastlane. And if you didn't watch the Unlimited podcast where we previewed Fastlane, me, Walter, and Alec Costival, if you didn't watch that Unlimited podcast, there's one thing I have to say. I told you so. And I knew what was going to happen. I tried to warn you. I tried to prepare you. I tried to get it in your head that it was going to happen this way. And you chose not to listen. Fastlane 2017, folks. We're officially on the road to WrestleMania. Let me address this in two parts. To the people that don't have the WWE Network, the people that still need to order pay-per-views for full pay-per-view price, whether that would be $60 or $70 or whatever the amount may be, to the people that do not have the network that ordered this pay-per-view, being the loyal WWE fans they are, I applaud you. Because while you probably went into this pay-per-view with low expectations like I did, and like several others did, like the true WWE fans that you are, you ordered this pay-per-view. And you probably watched you probably watched it in its entirety. All 3+ hours of it. And for that, I applaud you. And to the people in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the Bradley Center, who left their homes, who drove in their cars, who parked in the parking lot, and who attended this event, who paid their good money to come to this event, to sit through 3 hours of Fastlane, I applaud you. Because again, you guys are loyal. You guys are loyal WWE fans, and even though you probably went into the show with absolutely zero expectations like I did, you still sat through it, and you at least tried to have a good time. And for that, once again, I applaud you. To those same people that bought this pay-per-view, that subscribed to the WWE Network, or the ones that attended this show live, to the ones who sit here and say that this show was good or anything even close to passable, I want to know what you're on. Because this right here is the epitome times 10 of everything that is wrong with the WWE product, especially on the Raw side. Boring matches, boring feuds, boring characters, and a 3-hour colossal waste of our time. That's exactly what this show was, and this is the show that the WWE is putting out on the road to WrestleMania, and you expect me to be at least a little bit excited about WrestleMania 33. You got another thing coming. This show sucked. And it was probably one of the worst pay-per-views I've ever watched. And for the third straight year, we have a Fastlane pay-per-view that wasn't good. 3 Fastlane pay-per-views in history. They all suck. So now, when all is said and done, am I supposed to be happy or excited or energized or pumped up for WrestleMania 33? Absolutely not. Elimination Chamber wasn't even that good. But this pay-per-view just flat out sucked, and I know I'm not in the minority thinking that. Because a lot of people, even the ones that usually sit there and overrate WWE shows and drop their standards just to like a WWE show, they said that this show sucked too. I'm not the only one here that thinks that. My God. Were there things that I liked on this show? A small amount. But otherwise, this show was what I said it was earlier. A big 3-hour colossal waste of time. Where do I even start? Well, how about we start with the opening match? Sounds good to me. Samoa Joe versus Sami Zayn. And while a lot of you are probably going to say that this match was awesome because Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn are both in it, and while this match was okay, and I emphasize again, okay, in terms of in-ring action, here's my question. When are we going to do something different with Sami Zayn? When is it going to be something different other than the typical underdog storyline? Because newsflash, he's no longer an underdog. Back in 2014, he was portrayed as the underdog, going into his NXT title feud against Neville. And what did he do? He overcame the obstacle. Then against Kevin Owens, same thing. Against Braun Strowman, same thing, winning against him on pay-per-view. He's defied the obstacles. He's overcome them. He's no longer an underdog. So my question is, when are we going to find something different to do with Sami Zayn? Because once again, just like a lot of other stuff that Sami Zayn does, it's a colossal waste of time. The positive on this match, or of this match, is the fact that Samoa Joe went over. Good for him. And this match was okay, but I really didn't care for it, because once again, it's the same crap that we do with Sami Zayn all the time. You knew it was going to happen, and it happened. So there we go. It's the Bullet Club! Oh my God! Oh, it's the Bullet Club! Oh my God! It's Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, I don't care. If I wanted to see a Raw Tag Team title match, I would just go tune into Monday Night Raw every single week. That's how I felt about this match. I was so agitated by this match because I didn't care for it. I see this match every single week. Just because it's on a pay-per-view doesn't make it any more special. It doesn't make it any better. And here's my question to you. Why are we still wasting our time with Enzo and Cass? Because it's basically the same thing with them every week. It's Enzo goes in, he looks like an idiot, gets beat up, gets destroyed. All of a sudden for Cass to come in and make the save, just for them to lose, because it takes two people to beat two people, not one person to beat two people. So why bother doing this? We all know Enzo can't wrestle. Just have Cass be a singles guy. Just have Enzo be the mouthpiece. That's all you need. Why bother wasting them in a tag team? It's so stupid. Because it's the same format every single week. And if the WWE doesn't care about them, why should I? Speaking of not caring, why should I care about anything Sasha Banks does anymore? Because WWE clearly has no idea what they're doing with her. So why bother putting anything into her? Why bother putting your support in her, or whatever's left of your support in her? If you clearly don't have any, then why bother? And this victory against Nia Jax, it just shows that the WWE doesn't know what they're doing with Sasha. It shows that the WWE doesn't know what they're doing with Nia. And again, it's just one big lose-lose situation and one big colossal waste of my time. Cesaro versus Jinder Mahal. Big Show versus Rusev. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus. Oof. Too many flips and kicks. Oh, my God. This cruiserweight action's just too much. Just way, way too much. Before you get angry, that wasn't meant as an insult. Because this cruiserweight title match was the match of the night. And it wasn't even close. Don't put Joe and Zayn up there. Don't put Braun and Roman up there. This cruiserweight title match between Neville and Jack Gallagher was really, really good. These guys have really good chemistry. And the crowd eventually started to get into it, at least a little bit. For a cruiserweight division that doesn't stand out at all, that just blends in with everyone else, and for a cruiserweight division that just, frankly, does not get over at all in any way, these two found their way to get over in their own way. They found the time that they needed, they got the time that they needed, and they put on a show. And this was worth the $9.99 network price alone, just like somebody said in one of their reviews. I completely, 100% agree. These guys are over. The only two cruiserweights that are probably over. And this match showed it. Because let me say this. If there was any positive at all about this pay-per-view, it all came from this match. Because nothing else topped it. Nothing else was able to top it. Nothing else, I don't think, could have topped it. These guys showed what cruiserweights are all about. And for that, I applaud them. Behold! WWE's golden child. The angel sent from above. The man that will save the WWE for years to come. Roman Reigns. This Roman versus Strowman match. This was the only match that I actually had some sort of care for going into this show. And yeah. I went into this show thinking that there was no clear winner for this match. But, lo and behold, there's a winner. There was a winner. And all of you that don't like it, don't say I didn't warn you, because I did. Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. The match started to pick up as it went along. It started to become a passable to solid match. I'm not going to say it wasn't. These two guys went out there, and I appreciated the story that they were trying to tell. But at the end of the day, it's all about the finish. It's all about working your way to get to the finish. And of course, it wouldn't be the WWE without a crappy finish. Roman Reigns going into WrestleMania, at least he's going into it with a victory. But there could have been a better way to do this, protecting both guys, and instead you only protected Roman Reigns. This match was poorly booked. I'll just leave it at that. It was poorly booked. And if there was ever a time where you wanted to set up Mania matches, especially Roman's, him facing The Undertaker at WrestleMania, if there was ever a time you wanted to do something like that, this would have been the night to do it. Because this match was a lose-lose situation to begin with. Braun is now no longer undefeated. He's been pinned. Roman, if he lost, do you really want him to go into WrestleMania against The Undertaker, the almighty Undertaker, with a loss? This would have been a perfect opportunity to have Undertaker interfere to, protect both guys in a way. And it sets up WrestleMania very nicely. Instead, we get this crappy finish to an otherwise passable match. It just wouldn't be the WWE without some relatively terrible booking. And once again, it just wouldn't be the WWE without this match being one big colossal waste of my time. Do 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 do. By God, it's Bayley. This match. Oh God. Oh man. Well, if you like surprises, then I guess we were all surprised by this match. And especially the finish. I'm sure that I'm not the only one that thought that Charlotte was going to go into WrestleMania as the champion. She was going to leave Fastlane with the title and with another victory at a pay-per-view, But, lo and behold, WWE wanted to surprise us. And they had Bayley go over here. While this is surprising to me, and surprising to a lot of you, and this is probably surprising to a lot of you in a good way, this is surprising to me in a bad way. Because something that the WWE has been building for months is the fact that Charlotte has been undefeated at pay-per-views. So you would think that with the amount of devotion and the amount of time spent that the WWE has on this streak, that the only place for it to appropriately end would be WrestleMania. Because WrestleMania is the biggest show of the year. And WrestleMania is where everyone gets involved. The show where everyone comes out to play, and comes out to party, and comes out to wrestle. You would think that on the granddaddy of them all, the grandest stage, in front of 70,000 plus, in front of millions all across the world, that this would be the appropriate place for this streak that time has been devoted to end. Yeah, and then this match happened, and much like the typical Charlotte match, it was very choppy and sloppy and botchy, and nothing was clean. It looked very coordinated, but at the same time not coordinated very well. And while Charlotte is a big blame for this, you have to blame some of her opponents too. And Bayley botched a lot of moves too. This wasn't just a one-sided suckfest. This match just sucked. And then we get the wrong finish. Well, let me rephrase that. We get the right finish, but at the wrong time. Now that Bayley is going to go into WrestleMania 33 as the champion, a victory for her to retain the title, it doesn't mean as much because Charlotte's streak is over. You see what I mean? Once again, the WWE is proving that WrestleMania 33 is going to be one colossal waste of time. Because if you look at this could have been a big moment. But instead, it's just going to be another random match that really has no purpose to it. That's just my opinion. Maybe you disagree with it, but that's how I feel. And this show, WrestleMania, is going to have lots of filler to it. And I'm sorry, but whatever this Raw Women's Championship match at Mania will be, and if it was already announced and I just missed it, then I apologize. But whatever this is going to be, it's going to feel like filler. It's just going to feel like another match on WrestleMania. There's no real purpose to it. It's just going to blend in with everything else. Goldberg, Goldberg, Goldberg. Sorry. let me gather myself a little bit. There were little birdies that came up to me and told me this was going to be all about Kevin Owens. There's a little birdie that also told me that bringing back Goldberg in 2017 was going to be a blessing. It was going to be a great thing. It was going to be tremendous for business. To the people that sit here and say, excuse me, that this was going to be good for Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens was actually going to leave Fastlane, go into WrestleMania as the Universal Champion. I tried to warn you. I tried to prepare you. I tried to tell you. I tried to convince you. I tried to persuade you. And you didn't listen to me. And now, we're going into WrestleMania 33. And we're going to party like it's 2004 at WrestleMania 20. And the main event of WrestleMania 33 is between one part-timer and another for the Universal Championship. Here's a question. Is Brock Lesnar still the big attraction that you say he is? Because look at his title reign the first time. And that's what you're going to get at WrestleMania. You guys tried to convince me, foolishly, that the only finish for this match was Kevin Owens going over. What makes you think that was going to happen? Because let's be honest here, if you were going to put Goldberg in the spot and not have him go over, I question why you even brought Goldberg back to begin with. But for the people that sit here and say that this helps Kevin Owens, well, now he's going into WrestleMania in a match for a meaningless championship that's probably going to get buried in the mid-card and last about 10 minutes, if that. And in the main event, we have two part-timers for the world title. Explain to me why I should be excited for this. Explain to me why I should have any form of happiness for this. There is none. And everything on the Raw side of WrestleMania, pretty much everything, even including Triple H and Seth Rollins, is going to be one big colossal waste of time. This can draw as much money as it wants to. But at the end of the day, Brock Lesnar is going to be your Universal Champion. And he's not going to appear. Which means that everyone on Raw has nothing to fight for. And if you're going to sit here and praise this as some big, great, awesome thing, may I remind you how crappy the product was in 2014 when Brock was away. It was terrible. And the product is already terrible, even without him as champion. But now, you're going to get the main event you wanted. And unfortunately, I'm going to get the main event I wanted. That's not a good thing, though. And don't say I didn't warn you, because I did. In terms of this match, you didn't do a long, drawn-out match. I didn't think they were going to begin with. This was another match I thought didn't really have a set finish, although I knew going into it, or at least thought going into it, that Goldberg was going to go over. But with the WWE, you never know, so that's kind of why I mentioned the first part of that. But this was another match where you needed to set up as much for WrestleMania as you could, and that's pretty much what they did. So for that purpose alone, I'm okay with this, but I'm not okay with Kevin Owens in a U.S. title match at WrestleMania. I'm certainly not okay with two part-timers competing for the secondary world title in the main event of Mania, especially considering one of them is probably going to go away, and the other, who's going to win it, is probably going to go away too. So yeah, a crappy ending to a crappy Fastlane pay-per-view. And once again, if you thought that this pay-per-view was anything close to even passable, I really want to know what you're on. This pay-per-view sucked. And WrestleMania 33 is very likely to suck as well.